Hello, 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 and welcome to the However Comma podcast. My name is Sam. I'm today's host of this episode, not that that really means anything. And with me, I have
Ryan.
And Alex.
We are the three members. So I had a lot of ideas coming into this, and I've pretty much forgotten all of them, which has been kind of nice because there's a big elephant in the room that can become my topic. The day that we're recording this was the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
2020.
2020 Anime Awards. And much like everyone on the internet, we have opinions about it.
So speaking of our opinions, I would just like to make the public a service announcement that our podcast is in fact an anti-Crunchyroll podcast. We are a pro-Crunchyroll sponsorship podcast.
We will take their money. And if they give us their money, we will no longer be the anti-Crunchyroll podcast.
We are sellouts, just like you know.
We will be very passive-aggressive about it, though.
Of course.
Well, maybe we should say not anti-Crunchyroll, maybe just anti-Crunchyroll's video player.
We're anti-Crunchyroll.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to go over that because, like I said, we've got opinions. And
not all of them are good opinions. Some of them are good.
We know what to expect at this point. I'm pretty apathetic about the whole thing, but there's still, I'm not gonna lie, even after I got onto these two, about being excited about some things, I was pretty excited when some things won.
The big thing that we really just had to put in our minds, that we always have to put in our minds with the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, is that
it's a beauty contest.
It's the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. It's
literally a popularity contest.
Yeah, it's a beauty contest.
Yeah. Exactly.
My Hero Academia is going to win at least multiple categories.
If any category it's nominated for, it will win. And that's true. Like, it's also like I had noted a lot of times. There's a lot of recency bias in it. Like, even when there is a popular show on the list that you think would win, a popular show that came out more recently is always going to beat it.
Yeah.
In most cases.
In most cases, of course.
And I do think that extends a little bit to our Anime of the Year awards here, but that's not entirely the case. Like, and for those of you who haven't seen it or have seen it, the winner of the Anime Awards this year was Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, spoilers. Okay.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But all right, we can go through and actually like talk about them if we want.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to discuss the nominees and kind of who we thought should have won. And,
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start with you got it pulled up, right?
Yep. Are we gonna start at the bottom?
Well, let's start. What was the first one? Well, it was
the first one on here is Best Comedy nominees at the very bottom.
That wasn't the order, but yeah, let's go with it. Yeah,
sure. So at the bottom of the list is Best Comedy nominees. The nominees were Kaguya-sama Love is War, the second season.
Of course.
Sleepy Princess. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken.
Barely a comedy.
Yeah. And, oh god, what is the name of that series? The one that people liked.
The one that people liked?
Kakushigoto.
Yeah. The one that none of us have seen.
Yep. My Next Life is a Villainess, and the Misfitted Demon King Academy.
History's strongest demon reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants.
Which is very unintentionally a comedy.
Yeah, I think they absolutely put it in the right category, but I don't think that it was intended to be in that category.
I don't think the fact that it was a comedy is a good thing for the show.
Right.
I don't think that's exactly what the show is intending.
I never understood if Misfitted Demon King Academy was taking itself seriously or not.
I unfortunately think it was.
By the end, it definitely was. I think for the first two episodes, it was definitely just...
It was reveling in kind of like the absurdity.
Yeah, like, there was definitely like there was literally a scene where Honest Voltigold just like casually walks through a wall.
Well,
like,
I bet
shattering the
I
wall.
bet what it was is that like with a lot of these stories, you have these people who just upload like web comics and stuff, or like there's a lot of sites where they can do like their own works, like light novel and stuff that are not actually published, but a lot of companies actually do scout onto those websites, and they probably saw this guy who was writing a story that looked really easy to serialize. Mm-hmm. And he was probably playing it up for laughs because the first few episodes are pretty outrageous. And then they came up to him and they're like, hey, we're going to give you money, finish this story. Mm-hmm. That's my guess. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it feels like. It kind of feels like he was kind of forced into writing
a standard show.
A standard show.
Because he started off, the show started off very much doing its own thing and just having like a lot of fun with it.
Right.
And as it kept going on, it started hitting more and more cliched beats.
Right. I think he was probably forced into writing an ending.
It was like the first. Normally, a good example of this is normally the first girl that the guy is introduced to in these sorts of series is a tsundere.
Yeah.
Like that's just the main girl. In this series, it was like this weird. Like,
she was a kudere.
She was a kudere, yeah, and she wasn't like, like anything revolutionary as far as kuderes go, but like she was sort of a fun character as far as like,
I kind of liked
she was
her.
kind of sweet. Yeah, I kind of liked her.
I didn't like the show, but
it's like as the series went on and he like met new characters, each one progressively fell more and more into like a mold.
Yeah. Even her. I mean, she just became.
Yeah, even her. She just became
part of the harem. Yeah.
She became waifu number 2.
Yeah.
She's waifu number 1, but
I mean, she definitely is waifu number 1, but the show definitely doesn't treat her.
But
also the show has the dumbest revenge plot twist or something, like with her sister.
I don't even. Yeah, it was pretty dumb. But all that being said, we don't even think it should have won Best Comedy.
Yeah.
The one that I think we all wanted to win Best Comedy was Kaguya-sama.
And it did.
And it did. So, hey, good job.
And there were other things like Sleepy Princess.
So I probably would have voted for Sleepy Princess just because Kaguya is a sequel.
Well, Kaguya-sama won.
Yeah, Kaguya did.
No, that's what we're saying.
And again, I haven't seen Kakushigoto. I've heard people like it.
I didn't know it was a comedy.
I didn't know it was comedy.
I thought it was like a drama.
I'm probably gonna have to check it out.
I might check it out if it's a comedy.
Yeah.
I just kind of wrote it off as like a lolly show.
Isaacin is so barely a comedy, but like, what category would you even put Isaacin into?
That's a good question.
Like, what genre would you actually put Isaacin into?
I mean,
it's not a slice of life.
It's a slice of life.
But it fits more. It almost fits like.
It is a slice of life, but it's more like the kind of like.
It's
almost like it's almost like if you took a thing like Working or what was the other one?
I don't know, it fits almost with like Bakuman or like those sorts of production shows that go into anime production, and obviously it fits with that because of that. But it has that same sort of like progression attitude where like the characters are constantly working towards something. Even if like Isaacin does kind of piddle around with it a little bit.
Well, Isaacin, it's kind of like
from what I know about
it's kind of like in working in a lot of other like behind the anime industry shows where like it's kind of like the creation process that they spend like a episode on, and then it's just a whole show about it.
Are you thinking about Shirobako?
You're thinking about Shirobako. Not
working is about people working at a family restaurant.
Yeah.
I do love working though. I absolutely love working.
I haven't seen it, but I knew it was like a restaurant. Yeah. On to the next category.
The next category is Best Fantasy nominees.
I think you skipped over Best Drama.
I think we're just looking at different.
Are we?
Let's
do the fantasy one.
Sure. Okay. Best Fantasy nominees were ReZero Season 2, Tower of God, The Dragon Quest,
Dorohedoro, Decadence, and Ascendance of a Bookworm Part 2.
Yep.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I haven't seen like almost any of these.
I have seen
the only
ReZero and Tower of God.
The only ones that I've seen Tower of God and ReZero, yeah. I almost don't feel like I should talk about this. I think Tower of God won this category.
I think it did, yeah.
And the only reason I would vote for Tower of God is, even though I think it was a rushed and poorly planned show,
ReZero won.
ReZero won.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
That makes sense, too. I don't like the idea of sequels winning, especially sequels in, like, already established worlds. But
yeah, I would have wanted Tower of God to win, mostly because when you talk about fantasy, I really think fantasy you have to put the world first.
Yeah.
More so than even the characters.
I mean, if you put the characters first, you have an isekai. It's just a fantasy has to have an interesting world. Like if you look at a show like Made in Abyss, like wow, that show's interesting.
Yeah,
because they just show you the most interesting world that they can come up with, and
it's a really interesting world.
Yes,
like Dorohedoro.
They always answer one question and introduce two. Like,
Dorohedoro is a really cool world, and I did watch the first episode, and from what they set up, then it has an interesting like social class system. Decadence is just a mess.
I'm not gonna lie though, I watched the first episode of Dorohedoro too. I think we watched it at the same time. And anyway, it almost struck me as more of like a sci-fi than a fantasy.
Sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah,
They get,
I mean they go hand in hand.
They get
They
shoved
do.
together a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's science fiction. Like yeah. I know the classic fantasy genre is kind of like your Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
but fantasy can really be anything, I suppose.
I really kind of wish I'd seen Ascendance of a Bookworm.
It's supposedly good. I just don't care.
yeah.
I've just seen so many isekai, and like I'm only interested in the bad isekai and the good isekai, and I've heard that one is kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
So I don't care about it.
Dragon Quest, if it's anything like... I've played one Dragon Quest game, Dragon Quest 9. If it's anything like that world, then no. It's just a standard RPG. Monsters roam the countryside, and
Yeah.
people have... There's gods and monsters and very basic magic system. That's
So
whatever.
what's the next one? We gotta have some controversy. We've just kind of agreed.
Let's
with
go
it
off
so
of your
far.
list since there's two of you looking at it.
Sure.
So,
Best drama is
best
the next
drama.
one.
So-
this one made me mad.
Yeah, okay, so...
Oh yeah, this one, yeah.
Okay, so let me see. So Fruits Basket. Okay, yeah. So best drama, the nominees were Beastars, Fruit Basket Season 2, Great Pretender, Japan Sinks 2020, Sing Yesterday for me, and Somali and the Forest Spirit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Let's start with the conclusion.
I've only seen 2 of these. The one that won was
Fruits
Fruits Basket. And it wasn't even the first season of Fruits Basket, which, if I gotta be honest, I haven't seen the second season of the new Fruits Basket. But I watched the first season, and it was incredibly boring. It's what's that like stereotype of the character stereotype of like that really like loving girl who just kind of solves every problem. It's a literary term.
You have it in a dish go?
Mary Sue.
She's not quite a Mary Sue, but regardless, whatever. She just, I mean, yeah, Mary Sue's the closest thing. She just kind of goes around and like makes everybody's day better, and it just feels really cliche and old. I mean, I understand like
Well, it feels old because it's
Because it is old.
It is an old series.
it is an old series, and I understand like a lot of shows have probably taken off of it, and I've have been inspired by it and stuff. It just feels like a really tired idea at this point, though.
Yeah.
And it doesn't particularly do it so well that I care about it. It honestly is kind of mediocre compared to all of the shows that are probably influenced by it.
And I do know there are a good number of people who like that show like a lot.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately.
again,
no
I
idea.
haven't seen it, so I can't judge it based on what I've seen.
You have
All
no
I can really
idea.
go on is what like other people have said, and it's supposedly it's a good show.
You have no idea how
but-
many fangirls got so excited when it got remade.
And hey, maybe it's just not made for me. But
Unfortunately, its competition in this was Beastars.
its competition was Beastars.
Its competition was also like Japan Sinks and The Great Pretender. And,
Yeah,
like,
but what
Sing Yesterday
didn't
for Me.
people not like Japan Sinks?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard there was a
I
lot
mean,
of,
yeah,
like, weird stuff around
you
that one.
are correct that it was competition.
Yeah.
But
And like, I'm fine with The Great Pretender losing that one just because I didn't think it's like that much of a drama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really. I like the show a lot, but I don't really think it fits with the category of drama. Beastars, on the other hand,
Beastars is a drama through and through.
it felt like the drama category this year was made for Beastars to win it,
Yes,
and it just didn't.
somehow.
I don't think any of us have seen Sing Yesterday for Me
No, I
or
don't think
Somali
we
and the
have.
Forest Spirit.
I haven't. My good buddy Yuki has seen Sing Yesterday for Me, just going off of his anecdotal beliefs about it. He said it was very mediocre. So I don't know, but but yeah, no, it's an absolute. I think it's a highway robbery. The fact that Beastars is just a drama. I guess Fruits Basket is too, but
And granted, we're a little bit
we do really.
we're a little
like
bit biased
Beastars.
just because I think at least two of us here probably wanted Beastars to win the Anime of the Year.
Yeah.
Which also is going to be something we're talking about.
We already spoiled it, but yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay, so next thing. Well, I have one conquest, but I want to start. The next one technically on this list is best ED sequence, but let's start with best OP sequence.
Sure.
Sure.
What won best opening? Was it Wildside?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Wildside.
Yeah, good.
Good.
There was some tough competition. Don't get me wrong, but
No, this was probably the one where that was the most stacked. This is a result of like the Netflix licensing that caused Beastars to be in this competition anyways instead of in 2019. But Wildside, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kaguya-sama's Daddy Daddy Do, and Easy Breezy from Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken were all ones that probably people would have been at least okay with winning.
I would have been fine with any of those winning.
Yeah. I think any of the 6 on here would have been fine. I would have been a little bit salty
Except
with
the Haikyuu.
Yeah, except Haikyuu.
Yeah.
I really like
I don't like
Victor's
Haikyuu.
opening
I don't-
too.
I'm kind of salty about sequels winning in general, but
Yeah. Yeah, that is, and we're actually going to get to that.
I guess
I may
I'm not
be changing my topic for the night.
I'm
by
not
the way.
too
but-
I'm not too salty about sequels winning like an OP category because that's not something that is like directly like part of the story or anything. That's just or like pre-existing characters. It's an entirely new thing that's brought to the table.
Yeah.
But for these other categories, I do have a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we're all pretty happy with Beastars winning, but we would have been fine with pretty much any of them. Except for Haikyuu, I suppose.
Yeah. But I think hands down, Beastars would have won that. Is like the best.
It's just too much fun.
Yeah.
The other one that we were
What it is it's just too unique. You've never seen anything like it.
The stop
If
motion
you've-
animation on it is fantastic.
it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like,
If
it's-
you've started watching anime anytime recently, you've never seen an opening like Wildside.
yeah.
And honestly, the song is great, but that's not it. It's the animation and the visuals.
Yeah.
You got it, Ryan.
But I don't know. I like the song a lot.
I like the song. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, every bit of it's great.
Yeah.
I.
What the?
It just fell out.
All right, we got it.
Put it on the chair. No, the chair.
We're currently trying to plug
The
in
armchair.
Ryan's laptop. That's recording all of this.
This on?
We
The armchair. Pull the armchair closer.
Okay.
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 Okay,
Some slight technical difficulties, but
we'll fix that in post.
no, we won't.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
Okay, so next is best ED sequence. I don't quite. Oh, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
this one was just a clear winner.
No,
This
no
was
controversy here.
This was
yeah.
the exact opposite of the OP. This was a clear winner. It wasn't even close.
I actually,
Well-
there were a few that were good in this. I've heard
No,
you
there-
liked BNA's.
I like BNA ending. Not as much as
Yeah,
Inspector-
I really like the Great
Last
Pretender
Dance.
theme.
Last
Obviously.
Dance is
Yeah.
a good OP.
yeah.
Doro Hedro's like Doom inspired
It's fun. Yeah.
ending theme is really cool.
No.
But in the end, Jujutsu Kaisen's that's one of the best ending themes I've seen. In
This
a very
is-
long time.
No, I did not say that, meaning that none of these other were good. But
Just-
it wasn't. But it was a clear cut.
It's a
No,
blowout.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This was not a particularly close one.
Yeah. No controversy there.
Yeah.
All right,
Lots of
ne-
good endings. One that was way better.
Next, we have best VA for Japanese and English.
Gonna be
voice
honest,
actors.
can we just skip over the English one? We don't watch
None of us
stuff-
really know.
I was a little salty about the
Oh, were you?
English one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
he
thought,
wanted the Great Pretender.
yeah, because the way that they handled the English dub in that series was
Gotcha.
really cool. And I'm just gonna just quickly say my piece on that one. They have it set so the especially in the first episode, you see it. They flip flop between English and Japanese.
Okay.
And there's actually I think there's different voice actors for it, but the way they're able to do it seamlessly and match the voice actors with the Japanese voice actors for it is just really good. Like the way they just have it set,
Yeah.
and the way that he acts for those scenes is just good. That I just thought that was worth mentioning. Anyway,
But okay, yeah. No, I don't care though. It's the next one. Japanese voice actor. Again, what won? Subaru. Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm pretty sure
the problem is with a lot of these voice actor performances, these are all when you start talking about the nominees, they're all really good voice actors. They've been into the industry for a while, and if they haven't, they're on that list because they really made a mark.
Yeah.
And I would probably be fine with just about any of them. I think there was actually one on the best voice actor that I didn't care for. But
My one thing about the ReZero nomination there is, and this is once again extending to the issues with sequels in this, is that I think the best voice actor in ReZero is not Subaru. It's Betelgeuse.
Yeah.
His voice acting job in the first season is utterly fantastic.
It's ridiculously fun.
Yeah.
It-
But we're not.
But it's
counting
it's the same series, but it's a different
But it's
season,
a-
so it
yeah.
doesn't count. Especially since that voice acting job hasn't been done in.
Also, Roswell is a
Roswell
really
is
fun.
pretty good.
Yeah, I really like his voice acting performance
Yeah.
as well. But
And there's an argument for him too, but it's just.
and I feel like there's always an argument for
Roswell's good.
Amelia because she's just such a solid voice actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's on the staying on the whole production side of the OPCDs and voice actors. Let's actually just jump to the director category.
Can we just say how little I care about this category?
Yeah, that's kind of why. So we could just get it
We
out
pay
of the way.
attention to like directors mildly, but like the bare minimum. Like,
Isaac
So it's
and
like
one,
Masaki.
good.
Isaac in
Iwasa,
one, yeah,
cool.
it's Masaki Iwasa. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Sure.
awesome.
People know his name. I'm glad he
He
won.
probably won that on the name recognition alone.
Probably.
I do like Sunku.
Of course.
I do like Sunku Park.
That being said,
the director
Isaac and
of
Jujutsu
Jujutsu
Kaisen,
Kaisen.
yeah.
That being said, Isaac was a very well directed show. Like from what I
It
saw,
didn't
of it.
win, but it didn't win off just name.
I didn't-
Yeah, no,
yeah.
like, he didn't win just off of name recognition. Masaki Iwasa obviously did a very good job of the series.
Like
in terms
I've
of
said,
direction.
I've said it a million times. Like I didn't like Isaac that much, but I can absolutely see why people did.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I know some people that considered it like their anime of the year, and
Yeah.
that's
And I'm in the same boat. Like it's,
Yeah.
it wasn't really something that spoke to me that much, but like I can easily see why people. would
of
like
course, yeah.
Okay. Going off, still on the production side of it, best character design. We had,
I don't remember this one.
it was Hanako-kun that won.
yeah, it's
Oh, that's
Toilet
right.
Bound Hanako.
Because I don't
won.
care.
But the nominees were Brand New Animal, Tower of God, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, and Great Pretender. Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, I don't really understand why. They were just almost very similar to Inuyasha designs. If you've seen Inuyasha designs, you know what probably Yashahime characters look like.
Yeah. I'm actually just gonna throw this out there. As much as I like the Toilet Bound Hanako-kun,
I like the art style more than the
I think
character
it's-
designs.
I think the character designs kind of turned me off to the show. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not mad that it won, but looking at the nominees again, I think it's kind of a shame that Tower of God didn't destroy that.
I mean, no, I think Tower of God is a really good pick. I think BNA is a pretty good pick, and I think Isaac is a pretty good pick for that one.
I don't
too.
know. I would.
Yeah.
I think the very intentionally like androgynous picks, like the way that he designed every single one of those characters, was pretty interesting.
In what character?
In
what show?
Isaac.
And Isaac, yeah.
It
Sure,
was like
sure, but
the way that he actually like
Well, I don't know
designed
about-
the characters purposely in that way, and actually succeeded in doing it pretty well.
Not every character, but
Not every
two.
character, but like,
I mean,
they
of
all
the
had
main
that,
cast,
like-
there is one
Yeah.
model. She's very girly.
well, yeah,
But
but they all had like a very distinct feel to it. That was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's true.
Great Pretender had some really cool character designs too, but I don't think that would have won. It's just like they're very good, but they don't sell the show in the way that some of these other ones do.
Yeah, I still think it's a tragedy that Tower of God didn't win.
Yeah, I think Tower of God probably would have been was probably still the best one on here.
Yeah.
I-
I like the Toilet Bound Hanako-kun character designs well enough. It's
I'm
just,
sorry, Crocodile Man. You were kind of jibbed in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of just felt like they wanted Toilet Bound Hanako-kun to win something.
I pretty much remember every background character in Tower of God, though, and that's
Yeah.
really saying something.
Yeah.
And so I think we've said what we want on that one. So next category is best couple.
Best couple, it's...
No, this one was.
So the nominees were.
Wait, no, it wasn't.
So the nominees were My Next Life as a Villainess,
Not
Rent
a
a
couple.
Girlfriend,
Not a
Kaguya-sama,
couple.
not a couple,
Not a couple.
Inspector, not a couple,
Not a couple.
Beastars, not a couple,
Not a couple. They're the closest, but...
Tony Kawa, married.
and guess what? Tony Kawa win.
Won.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with Tony Kawa. winning
The
that.
only actual couple in the nominees.
I think the best couple of characters in this.
to clarify for any of our Villainess fans out there, it was technically Katarina and Maria that they were saying.
Yeah, which, again, I think it's going there.
If any of you have questions for any of the other shows that I you obviously didn't watch those shows.
It's like I think Love is War is the best like duo of characters in this,
Sure, yeah.
but
Sure.
like
But they're not a couple.
but they're not a couple. Again, obviously going in that direction.
Obviously, yeah, but they're not a couple.
Beastars is a little bit more ambiguous as to whether or not it's going in that direction.
Well, they're also like...
What if they put?
They're like...
what if they put Haru and Louis?
They're not a couple. They're not a...
What if they put Haru and Louis?
they're not a couple.
they're not a
either.
couple either.
Yeah.
They've had sex.
They have. You're not wrong.
That's more than NASA
And of course, the
and
farthest
Tsukasa have
ones
had.
from being a couple in this are the rent-a-girlfriend characters, who are just
Who are not a couple.
and really just not
Good
college
people.
students or just people who should be in a relationship in general. Just,
They
yeah,
we don't like
I have opinions on rent-a-girlfriend.
we can get to that. Excuse me.
What the fuck? Okay.
Best score.
Best score. Yeah.
Kevin Penkin won.
Kevin Penkin,
Who
Tower
would've-
of Gods.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
I mean, like, yeah,
Who would've thought
he
that?
did a good job.
I mean,
the Tower of God soundtrack's really cool.
Yeah, we were watching it, and we all just said that like Tower of God should be nominated. It was nominated and it won, so
Yeah.
we no complaints there.
Not gonna lie, outside of Wildside, I don't really remember a track from Beastars.
I haven't sat down to listen to the soundtrack of Beastars
No,
yet.
I haven't either.
I honestly don't remember like any tracks.
I
From
will
it.
say, of these 6, the only one that I've gone out of my way to look for
5.
is the Great Pretender soundtrack. But
the only one I've gone out of my way for is Tower of God.
yeah, but I think like
But I feel like a lot of that
I'm
is
perfectly
name
fine with Tower of
name
God winning
recognition.
that, just because like it's just cool. Like I do remember listening to the episodes and being like, "Ooh, that sounds fun."
Yeah.
It's pretty jazzy, even though
There's,
it's
like,
not
that one
jazz at all.
scene of,
It's
like-
poppy.
Of like Coon in the Throne Game, where he just like dicks on everyone, and there's this like nice jazzy theme playing. Like,
It's fun.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we have next best fight scene.
This
next.
one
and
I have opinions on.
Now
So-
we start getting opinions.
so we have Berkuli versus Dark God Vecta from Sword Art Online
kind
Organization.
of a cool fight.
Brawler versus Master Akaduma Drive. Fucking
Awesome.
sick as fuck.
That was a really fun fight.
Deku versus Overhaul. Garbage.
Not my that was like my second least favorite fight in that entire arc.
Jin Mori versus Han Dawai from God of High School, and also Jin Mori versus Jekyll Take from
The first
God
one
of
is
High
better
School?
than the second.
yeah. No, I really like the Jin versus Han
Yeah.
fight, and then Sotoro Gajo versus Ryomen Sukuna.
That
This
fight-
is not a fight. This is a skirmish.
It is-
This
yeah,
this is an
absolutely.
incursion.
I'm gonna mostly stay out of this one just because the only fight in this that I've actually seen is the Jujutsu Kaisen fight, and only because it took place in the first episode.
Yeah. And Ryan's right. It was a skirmish at best.
Yeah.
and
So let's
Gojo absolutely shits on him.
Let's
So-
talk about the one that should have won. I think the one that should have won is either Jin Mori versus Han or
Brawler versus
Master. And then with like a close, like I think those are kind of my first place picks,
And
and
then
then
the
a close
Sword
second
Art
being the
Online.
Sword Art Online fight, because it was not gonna lie, kind of a badass fight.
Okay, so my personal one is Brawler versus Master.
Yeah,
This fight was really cool because they were both pretty injured at the start of this fight, and so you know they're gonna die.
well, no, someone's gonna die in this fight.
You know at least
someone
one
is
gonna die. Spoilers: they both die.
Yeah,
And then
Alex
me,
isn't happy about that. But
me and
that's
Sam kind of have are kind of divisive about the scene that follows directly after the fight,
I'm not the biggest fan of it, but
and I think it's actually really well done.
I think it's well done. I just wish that character hadn't made that decision.
Okay.
It turned like my favorite character into one of my least favorite characters.
Are you talking about the My Hero Academia fight now?
No, we're talking about
I think
Akudama Drive. So.
Oh, okay.
somehow Brawler vs Master is so cool because somehow they get on like a Ferris wheel during this fight.
Dude,
they
it's
go
sick.
they go everywhere, and I think one of the biggest points, I think we all agree that, even though you haven't really watched Akudama Drive, Alex, is that the color design and color palette for Akudama Drive is one of the best uses of color.
It's just like dull colors with neon like highlights everywhere. It's sick.
Yeah, and I think it uses its color direction. Like
Yeah.
its peak is this fight, and maybe that one other scene.
And it's
with-
raining, and when it's
with
raining,
Cutthroat.
it can make things like rain can make things look messy, but they did it really well, and it's just it's so pretty. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen water effects as good as that one scene on the bus from Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say in Akudama Drive, and I'm like, well, I've seen better rain, but no,
And,
well, no,
like,
the best rain I've ever seen is got to either be in the Makoto Shinkai film, the Rain one,
Yeah.
whatever. It's literally rain is like in the title.
Wolf Rain?
No, not Wolf Rain.
No.
But
it
when it
Garden of
rains or
Words?
something, Garden of Words, rain.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Garden of
rain
Words.
is not inside. Garden of Words. Garden of Words is beautiful, and also honestly, like, is it the first or the second Heaven's Feel movie? The rain in that is just
Yeah.
gorgeous. It's one of those two has the best rain effects I've ever
Well,
seen.
it's ufotable rain. It's
Wait,
ufotable water
it's,
effects again.
It's ufotable, yeah. The only thing that maybe beats that is like free from Kyoto Animation.
Which like isn't really fair because it's not really the rain's doing. It's really just
it's
water.
just pretty water, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it rains in like
Jin-
Violet Evergarden, like
Jin and Don and Hans fight in God of High School. It's just really well choreographed.
It's just pretty. It's just fun to watch. Yeah.
It's really well choreographed. It's pretty. It you kind of have Han going, kind of almost becoming an antagonist at this point
Yeah.
because of
his friend.
Yeah.
Who's dying.
and his friend that died,
Oh yeah, he died like during
And
like
he's just
the news reached him like right before the fight.
and he's just pissed, and so it's kind of weird seeing these two that were like friends and then they turned like opposing forces.
I don't want to suck the dick of God of High School too much. That show still kind of sucked, but
That's not great, but it is pretty, and it's a good choreographed fight, and I like the power system in it.
yeah, no, it's just JoJo's. It stands, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's it. Jin
but-
versus Jeggle is also really well animated.
Yeah, it's
but-
well animated,
but it's very stupid because this is
who cared about that show at that point anymore?
and I was still
But-
watching, but
I was still watching too, but I was just watching for the spectacle and less for the plot. Like,
Deku versus Overhaul comes after a fight that is better story wise, better character wise,
it's
and even
it's not
and-
the animation that they gave it though is pathetic. I wish that it was well animated.
yeah.
Um,
The Deku versus Lemillion fight that came right, or no,
Or
the,
the-
Overhaul
the-
versus Lemillion
Lemillion,
fight that came
which
right
is-
after this.
story wise, character wise, the best fight in all of season 4.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the animation wise, it was absolutely shafted.
And Berkuli and versus the Dark God Vecto was probably the one instance where Kirito's like wish fulfillment character nature probably actually played to the benefit of the fight.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, just go watch it. You'll understand.
It's fun.
So-
I really like that fight,
So
actually.
going on from best fight scene, which basically means best animation for one particular scene, we go to just best overall animation.
Oh, well, no, let's reveal who won the best fight scene.
I did.
Oh, did we?
it was Deku versus Overhaul.
Unfortunately. Okay, next. I hate that fight. Next.
Yeah, I think what we've said so far on it makes clear what we feel about
Yes.
or at least what you guys feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't really care one way.
And it more stems from Deku becoming a less interesting character, more so than what they actually did for that fight. But
Yeah, I just don't care about Deku
It
anymore
really
at that
just
point.
felt like a lot of people went onto the website to nominate things, and people saw My Hero Academia on one of the things. Was like, ooh, that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a popular show.
It's
I'm
a
not
popular
gonna-
show.
So we go from
Hence the Crunchyroll anime.
Yeah.
so we go to best animation, and that's the contenders are Beastars, Great Pretender, Jujutsu Kaisen, Keep Your Hands Off Azukin, Princess Connect Redive. It's really weird.
Really weird
And then
nominating
the
it.
God of High School.
All right, wait. First of all, I just want to mention the Princess Connect Redive thing. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards this year was sponsored by Princess Connect Redive.
I feel like they had to throw
that
him
feels a
onto
little
something.
fishy. That feels a little fishy. Not gonna
That's
lie.
Little
a-
fishy.
I know nepotism's not the correct word there, but little,
Yeah, something about that just does not
Little
feel like
sus.
one of these things does not feel like the others.
Hey,
and
guys.
it's Princess Connect Redive.
Guys, Orange is kind of sus.
it's
So slash that off. That obviously didn't.
yeah, let's
win.
throw that out.
Yeah.
That's not even in my top 5. Like,
The
Okay,
rest of
the-
them, however,
The one that won was Keep Your Hands Off Azukin, and this is probably the one I have the most problems with winning.
okay, I don't have a super strong opinion about this.
Listen,
I think that's a fine.
I don't think God of High School is a good show, but it is the best animated show that came out in 2020.
It's up there.
it's up
Absolutely.
there.
I mean, I have no problems with it being on this list. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Beastars, it's really great CGI animation. Studio Orange is the premier
3D
3D
animation. Yeah.
animator.
Yeah.
They did a
And-
great job with it for sure.
And to be honest, I do think Beastars kind of pushed 3D animation forward a decent bit. Like,
Well,
obviously,
no,
it's not
what-
the best 3D animated thing.
No,
because-
Land of the Lustrous.
I think
Because, yeah,
I think
because
Land of the Lustrous
is better,
absolutely did that.
But
for
the
it.
popularity that Beastars
That's
had
fair, that's fair.
put it in a lot of people's minds that 3D
What-
animation can be good.
What happened is that Land of the Lustrous told people that it is possible to make a pretty looking
Yeah.
3D animated
Right.
show, and then because people knew that Studio Orange could
They-
do that,
they
they
gave
gave it a chance and said, "Oh, this is actually pretty good."
And then Beastars came out and said, "Look, not only can we make a pretty good-looking show, but we can also just make a really good show."
Yeah. And it can be very popular.
Yeah.
Well, Land of the Lustrous is a good show.
No,
Yeah.
I like Land of
No,
the Lustrous.
I've heard Land of the Lustrous is a very good show. But
It's
didn't
not-
have
it's not as
nearly
good as
the
Beastars.
Not as good as
the
Beastars.
wide or the widespread appeal that Beastars
Well,
has.
Beastars
as
got-
far as like a popular show.
I think Beastars storytelling was more suited for a 12 episode format.
Then Land of the Lustrous needs a long run,
Yeah.
which I hope it gets.
I hope it does. But I think it really also cemented Orange's ability because Land of the Lustrous was a source material that lent itself to be a 3D animated because it's
Right.
like anthropomorphic gemstones.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's
Yeah, it kind of lent itself, and then they took animals, which you usually think of badly CGI animals or mythical
Mm-hmm.
creatures, and they said, "How about this?" So, if it had
that one like Diamond versus one of the what are they, the people from the moon, whatever. That one guy like real furry and just has all the hair and the multiple arms and stuff. It just looks cool. Like it's really well done. I mean, it like you wouldn't think it would work super well in the 3D field, but just like. I mean, they clearly put a lot of effort into it,
Yeah.
and
So-
CGI is not something that.
So if Beastars had
Like, we
won,
have it in all
I
of our
wouldn't
movies.
have had a problem with it. If Jujutsu Kaisen had won, I wouldn't really have had a problem with it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have either. I don't think it.
I think God of High School was the best animated thing.
I
And I'll be honest,
might have
I'm
to agree with
perfectly
you.
fine with like any of those 5 winning. As long as Princess Connect Redive didn't win that, I would have been satisfied.
And it didn't, so we're
And
good.
it did not, so I'm satisfied.
And it did not. So I mean, like, fine, Azukin won. It is a pretty show, and it did have good animation, but
Yeah.
Like the whole show is about animation. Like it's gonna have a pretty strong shot there.
It better. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it did better.
so. Okay, so have we said our things about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Let's
so.
go.
So
Best-
the next category is best protagonist.
yeah.
Oh, now we're gonna get into those.
Well, you know what? I mean, I might be the only one who is decently happy with this. I'll tell it, like, okay, so going over the,
So the nominees were
Yeah.
Honest Voltigold from the Misfit Demon King Academy, Katarina Klaas
Kleiss,
from
think.
Villainess, Midori Asakaso from Keep Your Hands Off Azukin, Natsume from Decadence, Hinata from Haikyuu, and Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, so the winner was Katarina Kleiss.
Yes.
Which, looking at this list, I am more than happy with her winning. However, there is one protagonist that wasn't even nominated that should have absolutely blown this away.
Two.
Well, the one that I'm talking about is Legoshi from Beastars. And what's yours that you won?
It's Subaru.
Oh, and Subaru.
yeah. Now,
But that gets into our thing. of-
With sequels.
but just to like quickly talk about
But
that.
if they have sequels on here, Subaru should have been on.
Yeah,
Of course.
And what's really strange about that is that there are sequels on here. Like I was actually coming into this like particular topic planning to talk about how for some reason they didn't include any sequels in this particular category.
Yeah.
Well, they
But
did.
They did. They had Haikyuu,
They had Haikyuu.
which
Is like
okay, but like if you're gonna include sequels,
Also, it's definitely
ReZero is a very very obvious pick there.
of course. Yeah.
Hinata's also not the reason Haikyuu is good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a little confused by this category. I'm happy with the winner, but I just feel like there's some really obvious nominees that were left out.
just like you're
Natsume
gonna
is a
put
good character.
like Misfit at Demon King Academy on there. Like no, I'm not gonna lie, we were memeing the whole time, like yelling, "Yeah,
Anos
Anos Faulty
Gold!
Gold, let's go!"
No, yeah,
But,
we love my guy. But
And his name will be Anos Voltigold.
Anos Faulty Gold. Yeah, like sure, that's a lot. That's a meme pick, but like that's not actually the best protagonist this year.
Not
like,
at all.
It's not even close. Like there's at least 2 other characters that again, if you're going
He's
to
still better than anybody
submit
in
sequels, like-
Princess Connect Redive. but-
yeah, like, and I haven't really seen Decadence, so I can't tell if that's.
I can't
like,
speak on that
yeah.
either.
But I feel like those 2 nominees that probably should have been on here should have at least been over like I don't know, Misfit Demon King Academy and Haikyuu. Like,
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't. I'm happy with the winner. Like I said, there's just. I agree. Subaru and Legoshi should have just been on this list, and one of those should have won.
I mean, I think Subaru honestly probably should have blown that away.
I like Legoshi more, but I would have been more than happy with Subaru.
So, obviously, we go to the opposite of a protagonist, and we go to the best antagonist of 2020. We have Akito Soma from Fruits Basket, Ekidona from ReZero, In from Dorohedoro, Overhaul from My Hero, and Rachel from Tower of God, and Ryuma Sukuna. I think Ryuma Sukuna won.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Which, that's fine. This is kind of one of those categories where I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen should have been even nominated. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen for, the opening and the ending, that happened this year.
Yeah.
So it should absolutely, it winning the ending, I have no problem with. But with it winning, best protagonist and stuff, when the story, the first season's not even complete, I kind of have a little bit of an issue with, but...
My thing on this one particularly is that two of these feel a little bit out of place in this category, specifically being Tower of God and ReZero. I haven't seen the last episode of Tower of God, so I can't really say whether Rachel is an antagonist completely or not.
She's less of an antagonist and just more of a shitty person.
Yeah, but Echidna in particular is not an antagonist. She's not a good person.
Yeah.
But she's definitely not,
she's not the antagonist.
She's
of the
completely
story.
willing to work with people.
Right.
She runs all these trials and she doesn't
She's not an antagonist. But she is a villain.
I don't even know about a villain. She's just crazy. She's just true neutral. I don't know.
I don't know.
She's willing. She wants information and is willing to go as far as possible to get it. But she doesn't do anything that I don't know. She doesn't hinder the main characters.
She takes away his ability to go through the trials as soon as he doesn't doesn't accept her deal.
But she also gives him the ability to go through the trials in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because she
wants him to fulfill her curiosity with Return by Death. But as soon as he doesn't, she takes that ability away.
It's in this season, I could see her being the quote-unquote antagonist of it, but she really doesn't feel like...
That's Roswell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Roswell.
But even Roswell isn't a...
antagonist.
No, Roswell is an antagonist. He's 100% antagonist.
I don't know about that.
Dude, he literally makes a bet with him that says, I'm going to fuck over your intentions.
That's
and
true.
then
That's
Roswell
true.
says, no, you're not, because you suck.
Mm-hmm. But, in the end, they're working together.
How? He's definitely not working with Subaru.
No, the whole deal was,
No, Subaru's not going to work with him. Subaru's going to become his puppet. That's not a partnership, that's slavery.
I don't know. Either way, I don't really think any of the characters we've really seen in that, especially Echidna, really fit.
We actually just saw the true antagonist of ReZero a couple episodes ago.
It's kind of a weird category. Who won? It was
Ryuma and Sukuna.
Like I said, I'm fine with. At least Overhaul didn't win.
Yeah,
because that was my least favorite arc of that season.
We were really scared that was going to happen.
All right. So next category is Best Boy.
Best Boy. We've got Anos Voldigold. We've got
K-Man
from Dorohedoro.
K-Man. It's Kun from Tower of God. Legoshi. Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, and Hinata again from Haikyuu. I think Hinata won.
Okay, Hinata, the Fujiyoshis came out in spades. They really voted for their boy.
Really. That was, you know what? That was bound to happen.
It was.
There was no world in which the Fujoshis didn't come in and be like, oh yeah, let's vote for Haikyuu.
Honestly, again, I really wouldn't have minded
any of
these characters winning.
Even beyond that, who's going to go in and vote for Kun? Kun is a jackass.
Kun is epic. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about Kun being a jackass? What?
It's just the nickname of Tower of God is Tower of Betrayal.
Right.
And Kun is a big part of the reason for that. He is very, protective of the main character, but, man, to pretty much anyone who isn't, he is...
Fair.
Pretty much a sociopath.
Yeah, no. I guess it's easy to look at him through rose-tinted lenses since he is so nice to the protagonist, but...
I would really want Satoru.
I mean, he's kind of like Killua in a sense.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted Gojo.
Yeah, pretty much. He is pretty much this series' Killua.
I would have been fine with any of the characters winning, but I would have wanted Gojo to win the most. Gojo is epic.
Again, I'm voting for Legoshi. I would have voted for Legoshi if I voted.
I just wanted to know where my man Ishigami was.
Nowhere to be seen.
That's fine.
Really, just or Shirogane. I just wanted a Kaguya character in there.
Yeah.
Again, if they're gonna put sequels in, throw those characters in. Like,
It's fine.
Again, Hinata's.
it's just
not the
again
best
Crunchyroll
character.
being very inconsistent with that rule.
Best girl was a
Interesting.
category that honestly I didn't have very strong opinions about. Looking at all the
So
I would
our,
have been fine
nomin-
with most of these, except for one.
except for the one that won.
our nominees was
What?
Abigail Jones from Great Pretender,
No, Kaguya one.
Oh, my bad.
Katarina Kleist from Villainess, Chizuru from Rent a Girlfriend, Kaguya Shinomiya from Kaguya-sama, Noi from Dorohedoro, and Sayaka from Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken.
I would have wanted either Katarina Kleist or Kaguya to win, and Kaguya won. Yay, little.
I'm honestly partly convinced that the reason they didn't nominate Kaguya for Best Boy too is that they didn't want a Kaguya character winning both Best Boy and Best Girl.
And yet, I mean, My Hero won twice. Jujutsu
Yeah.
Kaisen won twice. Like it does.
Like, as long as Rent a Girlfriend didn't win that category, I was
Yeah,
fine.
thank God, Rent a Girlfriend didn't win.
Once again, strong opinions on Rent a Girlfriend.
And according
I
to-
did not like it.
According to the community, people like Mommy more than they like Chizuru. Look
Which,
it up.
like,
Look it up.
first of all, just,
Doesn't sound like it's real.
I just
I don't
My
get,
only
I don't
real
get,
question
I don't
is
get
why.
weebs. I don't get weebs sometimes.
I really just don't like.
Which I don't like Chizuru a ton, but the fact
Alright.
that Mommy, look it up on Mal. Seriously, Mommy has more favorites than Chizuru does, and I
It's
just
so
don't
funny.
get it. And there's like literally entire subreddits devoted to just defending Mommy. I hear just like entire trends or threads on Reddit just defending her. I just don't get it.
So that brings us to the final, the apex of it all, and probably really the most disappointing.
This
The fight one was probably the most disappointing for at least you guys.
Oh, the fight one was pretty.
Yeah, the
pretty
fight
disappointing.
was pretty
But the anime of the year is the whole reason why. Like,
Okay,
what
first of
happened
all,
again
we
this
have
year?
another just weird entry with Apare Ranman making the list. Was never in any other category, but
and it
showed
just
up in
sneaked
anime
its
of the
way into anime of the year.
Yeah, no,
somehow.
it was literally. This is the only category it was nominated for.
Yeah, we're currently watching this right now, the three of us together.
I'm
It
probably
is-
gonna give it like a 5, maybe
It's
a 4.
fine.
Yeah,
It's not that good.
It's a racing show, like a wacky racing show, and I love wacky racing shows, but none of the characters really sell me, like at all.
there's not
And-
a single great character in the show.
yeah, and
which
wacky races need fun characters. and
they're the
this just
backbone of the story, and
doesn't have it.
yeah, they just don't have it.
And so the other ones are Beastars, Dorohedoro, Great Pretender, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken.
So after thinking about it for a while, I think Beastars is my choice.
I mean, yeah,
Probably
I'd
me
agree
too.
with that.
Yeah.
I agree with what you guys think about Jujutsu Kaisen winning because Jujutsu Kaisen won.
Yeah.
But I would have been fine with it winning if it had been done.
If
I'm
it-
fine with it winning, but not like as a merits of its story so far. I'm fine with it winning. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with the fact that it's not over.
yeah, I have a problem with the fact that it was in this awards to begin with.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I think the show is very strong. Like, it could have won some categories in this coming year, potentially. But I think it should have been in the coming anime awards instead of this past one.
I just like I don't.
Because-
Like I said, I don't have any problem with it being like best opening or best ending because those things were confined to the season. It has a new ending, it has a new opening that are both part of the 2021 winter season. But like, why is it an anime of the year? Why is it in like best fight? I guess because that happened during 2020. I'm fine with that too. But why is it an anime of the year?
It just doesn't really make that much sense.
Because I have I have a suspicion that it's going to make it into the 2021 Anime Awards.
Really? You think?
Well, because it's going to be airing during 2021. I don't know. Have they done that in the past? I don't know. I mean, I'm probably talking out of my ass, but
We'd have to look that up.
yeah.
But, yeah. I wouldn't be completely surprised if that doesn't end up happening.
Okay.
It's, okay, and all that being said, Crunchyroll, if you want to sponsor our podcast, we will take your money.
Oh man.
We will
yeah,
suck your dick for money.
I would have been fine with most of these. Like, I think Eizouken is a pretty strong pick. Again, I think it wasn't really my thing, but I could see why a lot of people wanted it for that.
No, yeah, like I said, it wasn't my thing,
Like,
but
it's
I see why
definitely like a
people liked
critical
it.
show.
Yeah.
Beastars is probably would have been my pick.
It would have
I
been mine as well.
perfectly happy with Great Pretender. I actually don't think it ended up winning anything, like a single thing.
I think you're right. It got nominated for like 2 or 3 or like 3 things, like best
More than that.
animation,
It was
score.
nominated for like 5 things, and I
Yeah.
don't think it won anything.
I don't think it did either.
That's really weird.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That was which I'm a little disappointed in. I thought that was a really cool
I mean,
show.
at least he got nominated for a lot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, whatever.
But also, this entire this entire year, like pretty much every show that has like above a 7 on Mal was nominated,
And some that weren't.
and some that just surprisingly weren't. Yeah.
Let me actually very quickly.
I was gonna say-
Well,
I was gonna say Sleepy Princess should have been nominated for more, but it was nominated for Best Comedy, which I'm fine with. It shouldn't have won.
Oh, just barely. Princess
how
Connect.
does this have over a 7?
Yeah, Princess Connect Redive has a 7.06.
Okay,
on Mal.
and so does the Misfitted Demon. Dude, anime fans in 2020 were desperate.
Yeah.
And both of those shows are like 5 out of 10.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah.
I have it as a 4.
Yeah, I'd probably put it lower than 5.
I think I have it as lower than a 5 too. Those last few episodes were an absolute slog.
Somehow we did it in one night.
Yeah, and I was almost crying at the end, ready for because that was my second time watching through it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, can you only imagine?
How the fuck did you do that?
But yeah,
Dude, I've never had episodes last as long as that one fucking did. It felt like it took forever.
that last episode, you could have told me it was 40 minutes long, and I would have absolutely believed you. I would have said you must be lying. It was an hour long. Like,
It was like a first episode of Fate long.
yeah, when they explain all the rules of how fate works, I get it.
Also, shout out to Heavensfield for skipping.
Yep, the only thing that the first movie did really well was skipping all the introduction stuff.
Skipping the first school fight, just getting straight to like Kirei and like the Berserker stuff.
Thank God, yeah. Well, oopsie daisy. Hey, this is Sam, the episode's host. I have to interrupt this episode with a little bit of unfortunate news. We lost a lot of our recording footage, so what you hear is what we have. We managed to get pretty much our entire first conversation, and we're gonna roll with it and upload what we've got. We'll probably have another episode up pretty soon. Not that really matters a ton, because we're kind of just uploading whenever we want anyways. Alright, thanks for watching. Let us know how we did in the comments. Subscribe if you want, we appreciate it.